strategies in line with them. So these things comes under planning. Now, why I have brought these slides here? Because you are going to teach them, the early year students, those whose brain are developing rapidly and they can build up on their pre-knowledge. Okay, so planning is very important. Without plan, a teacher cannot go to the class. So planning is very, very important. Just a minute. Okay. Now comes do. Now what is do? Do is what you apply in the class. Is the strategy what I'm using, okay? What you will use in the class. How are you going to teach that concept in the class? Or do you need to do something different? What you are doing, is it working well with your students, or you need to change it for your students so that they develop interest? And when the interest is developed, then learning happens. And then comes review. Review is self-reflection. How well did it do? Okay. What didn't go well? What could I do differently next time? Or what went well? So reflecting on your lesson is very important, because while reviewing, you will get to know how well your class went, or do you want to replan or redo something? So this is very, very important. Now, planning we have done. Now, what are the ways, what are the things you are going to do for your preschool program? So there are various approaches of teaching. Okay. You as a teacher may be following maybe some approach, or maybe using a few good things of different approach. I'm not telling you to follow any one approach or do whatever, or go back and change your, the style of teaching. Today's session is more on what you are doing and knowing why you are doing. So maybe at the end of this session, you will be able to understand and know what you are doing maybe from so long and why are you doing it. Okay. So the first is theme-based approach. Now, what is theme-based approach? In theme-based approach, a topic is being taken, okay, a theme is being picked, and then we discuss on that particular theme, maybe for a month. Okay. So let's suppose we took the animals as a theme, right? So maybe for this month, we have a theme of animal. Now in a theme-based approach, all the teaching style, all the art and craft, the conversation class, the general knowledge class, this all will be covering animals. So you bringing interdisciplinary approach to your classes. Now in the theme-based approach, how we work, build on prior knowledge. So if you are taking, so selection of theme is also very important. You cannot take any theme, okay? Rather stick to the what your child understand better, okay? Like animal. So animal, a child must have seen. Maybe not wild animal, but pet animal or domestic animal, or the animals, those who roam around. And why not wild animals? Maybe he must have seen wild animals pictures, or on the National Geographic he must have seen. So taking animals, right? Building up on prior knowledge. So as a teacher, you must take out what your students already know about the topic. So if talking about animals, go to the class, ask them, name few animals. Okay, they will be telling you more and more about animals. Name animals, those who walk on 4 legs, okay? Those who have maybe horns or tail, or how is a bird different from animal? So what are the similarities between the two? So you can converse like this in the class. Break up the theme into a small unit. So animal is a huge lot of units, right? So bringing it down to smaller units, like animal, can be water animal, land animal, okay, or aerial. So you can break your the broader theme into small units. Emphasize links and related concept. Now, what do I mean by links and related concept? It is how your animal is related to the bird, right? Or what can be the link between maybe their home, their habitat, their eating style, their sound. So these all are the links, right? And the related concepts. So when you will talk on this ground, linking and talking about the related concept, then what will happen? The conversation will build up in the class. It is not only teacher who will be speaking, rather you will be turning the table towards the students. The student will be telling you more about the thing from their prior knowledge, and you will have a good discussion back in your classroom. Provide opportunities to build vocabulary. Now, when they are learning, they are also, you as a teacher is facilitating them, telling them for some good vocabularies. Okay, you can tell them about limbs when they are talking about four legs. So you can tell them they are called limbs. You can talk about paws and hooves. Okay, maybe not telling them the definition of it, but yes, building vocabulary can be a good go when you are doing things with a theme-based approach. When they are doing it in a theme-based approach, students are using their prior knowledge and building conversation in the class, so develops the vocabulary. Second comes activity-based approach. Now in activity-based approach, there it has been divided into three parts: planned activities, child initiative activities, and routine activities. Now, what is planned activities? In a planned activities, a teacher plans for a maybe a month, or for that purpose a year. See, activities are planned accordingly. Again, planning has to be done very systematically, keeping in mind what they know or what they have to know. Okay, what are the things they already know and what are the things they must know. So planning activity has to be done in that way. So a teacher teaches or does the activity in such a way which is already planned. Now, child initiated activities is activities which a child initiate by themselves. A teacher takes the second lead. Okay, the first lead is taken by the children itself. Like when you do pretend play, the students are doing. They are taking the initiative of the activity. When sending your student into different areas of your class, maybe you must have a resource center in your class which have maybe different corners. So when they go and they learn from there, this is child initiated activities where the teacher isn't doing activity first and then students are doing, right? So a student is taking a lead. This is child initiated activities. And third is routine activities. So you have a well planned timetable. So when we come to the class, we do this, then this, then this, then this, so that a clear, a routine is set in the child's mind, and daily the children are following these activities and learning. So this is routine activity. So this is activity based approach. Now, project and inquiry based approach. Determining answer to the question presented by the teacher or their students. So this is what? This is when maybe a teacher is asking students a question and asking them to research and then give me the answer, or vice versa. A student may also throw the question wherein everyone sit, research, and do some projects. So this is what? Projects based approach or inquiry based approach. Topic that are of interest of the children and related to curriculum goal. So like PBL, our project based learning comes under this. So a topic is picked up and the student research on it and then present. Again, the topic has to be such that is of student interest. Otherwise, why will a child go back and do research if they are not interested to? Now, the structured questions and problems, engaging children in discussion, problem solving, and investigating. So this is very important. What type of question you are asking them? What problem are you giving them? Is the problem such so that the student are able to, go inquire about that, or they're curious about to solve that problem or no? So you have to be very smart in structuring questions, what problems, and how are you going to engage your student in solving it. Integrating of the curriculum and opportunity for children to apply and use what they learn. Now, if we talk about this, how you can integrate this with your curriculum. So suppose you have taken a project-based topic, maybe toy. Now, how you can bring that toy into your curriculum? How you can integrate topic toy into the curriculum? Now, suppose you are teaching them hard and soft, okay, and you have taken toys. So you can ask them to segregate toys on the basis of hardness and softness, right? So you are integrating it. Now, next comes, suppose you are doing maybe counting in the class. So you can ask students to collect all the toys, what you have, and count them. Or if you have taught them big and small, you can tell them arrange the toys in the big and small order. So like this, you can integrate what you are doing into the curriculum. The development of higher order thinking skills. So higher order thinking skills, asking them such questions where they are forced to think. Okay, the answer is not derived from the remembering ground, but they have to think, and then they have to evaluate what they have, what answers they are giving, and then maybe creating something. So pushing them slowly from lower order thinking skills to the higher order thinking skills. Parental participation, linking home and school. Though we are doing much of it, asking parents to join, asking them to collaborate with school and do some activities, asking them to help the child back at home in researches, and asking students, giving them some tasks so that go home and find out maybe how many windows and doors do you have. So you can relate that concept. Who is the oldest member of your family? Who is the youngest member of your family? And how you can link home and school together. What are the activities you are going to give it to your student? So these all comes under project and inquiry. Integrated approach. Now listening to children. So giving avenues to the children to speak. This is what integrated approach. Ensuring children experiences by different speaking and listening situations. Giving them some avenues like doing read aloud in the class, where the students are listening and asking few questions based on it, so that they are speaking, thinking and speaking. So making listening and speaking together, integrated approach. Giving specific instructions. While you are there in the class, it is a habit of the teachers to go to the class, give instruction at a time, blah, 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 and students do not understand anything. So make it a point that you give instructions to your students. Celebrating diversity. So there is diversity, okay? So maybe celebrating all the festivals. So you are integrating the culture, okay? Celebrating birthdays in the class, celebrating for that purpose. So this is all celebrating diversity. Focusing through recall and restatement. So going back, recalling what you have taught, did we do? So this is all focusing through recalling. Spending time in observation. So you can send your student to the nature walk, give them avenues to go and observe. Maybe for a shape walk, you can ask them to go look around and find out what are the how many shapes can you point on your way to the corridor. Okay. So asking them for more of observation, listening to and coordinating with parents and family members. Also sitting with the parents, asking them what their the child likes, and also telling them, giving them feed forward on what is the way you can help your child in understanding this particular topic. Or if they have any problem, if you find that the child is misbehaving or not listening or is has changed the behavior, so you can call these parents, sit and do one-on-one interaction with them, and then reflecting on how your things are going. Now, a good plan must have avenues to develop all the domain of children. As I told you earlier, that we have different domains, the brain development domains. So giving them avenues to develop all the domains. Now the component of day's routine. A good routine of a class must have these things which are there on your screen now. One is circle time. So in a circle time, how it happens that a student sit in a circle with, of course, a teacher. Teacher also sits in the same circle, maybe on the floor or on the chair with the student. So this you have to decide on how are you going to do your circle time. So in a circle time, everyone sits together and discuss on a particular maybe it can be structured conversation or unstructured. Now what is structured conversation? Where a topic is being picked up and then a conversation is built up around that. So that is structured conversation, wherein everyone is speaking the same thing. Maybe what did you do yesterday, or when it rained. So everyone is speaking on this particular topic. So in this, why circle time? Because in circle time, the student is coming from the home and now he is being ready for the class. So for a class, a child has to leave all the baggages together with the teacher. A teacher also cannot start the class if he is or she is carrying the baggage with her. So leaving all that and start a class in a positive note with conversation happening, doing a circle time. So in a circle time, you can sing or you can play some circle time song, and everyone can join the circle. Okay, so you can play some good morning circle time songs. It is available on the YouTube. So you can pick few, you play. Everyone is coming and joining with you in a circle and sitting and talking. So you can pick up few different activities for daily purpose, like maybe some days structure, some days structured plan, some days unstructured conversation, or some days you can have discussing about their moods. So like this, you can start with your class. Now, second comes the conversation. It is not the the proper. It is not in the sequence. You can pick and place anything anywhere, but keeping circle time and bye bye circle there where it is. Okay, starting with the circle time and ending with the bye bye circle. So in this circle time I discuss now conversation. Conversation includes the conversation throughout the day. It is not only that conversation period where a teacher is asking students to speak and for the whole day they are quiet. No. Conversation, plan the conversation in each and every class. Be it maths, be it Hindi, be it EVS or English. Let the child speak. So makes your class in such a way so that your students are speaking more. So a conversation is happening. Okay? Always tell your student, why are you learning this? Maybe you are teaching addition in the class. Let your child understand and know why addition. Why are they learning 2 plus 2? Why it is important? What will happen if they learn 2 plus 2? Right? So always tell your children, tell your student why, what purpose will it solve. If you will learn addition, then what will happen? Or why are you learning to make sentences using he, she, it? Why it is important? So they must understand why. And also let your child ask as many questions as they want in the classroom, because then only they will be curious enough to ask. When the see teachers, if your students are not asking questions, then make sure you are not doing good with them. So let them ask questions, let them speak more in the classroom, so that your class is designed in such a way that a learning is happening through and through the class. Now play can be again of different type. Play can be of different type. Now it can be pretend play, it can be outdoor play, it can be indoor play, right? It can be structured play, it can be unstructured play. So play is also of various nature. When your students are there in the classroom and going to various resource centers, they are again playing with the things kept there in that resource center. So that is also play. Now with the play they are learning. Now why play is important? Because play develops the brain, makes the brain active, and when the left brain and right brain works together, then the learning happens. Okay, so it is very important to stimulate the left and right brain together. Storytelling again is a very important aspect of a class. A day must have a storytelling, maybe a class, or maybe a small section of a class where a teacher, or for that purpose a student, is telling a story. It can be short, crisp, and age appropriate. You can use few hand puppets or stick puppets or flashcards for your class to make your storytelling more attractive and engaging. So this is storytelling. Creative activities. Creative activities where the child is building on with something. Maybe building blocks or Legos, or making sand castles. So where a child is creating something, giving them beads and asking them to create patterns, or giving them some shapes and asking them to create some scene. So this all comes under creative activities, where the child is thinking and imagining and creating something. It can be the imaginative drawing, where they are thinking again and presenting it in the paper. Role play and dramatization also give them avenues of where they can role play and dramatize. So you can have small centers in your class where you can keep few things like doctor sets, kitchen sets, and asking them to dramatize. So this also is a very important aspect of a child's life or of a day, where the child is pretending to do something. Mathematical thinking and reasoning, where the child is applying their brain and thinking. It can be maybe a mathematical class, or you can do some activities where they have to put their brains and think logically to come to the conclusion. Environment awareness, scientific temper. So there has to be avenues where they are going close to nature. Okay, where they are learning something from their environment. So and scientific temperament, where they are learning something which is scientific in nature. It be soluble, insoluble, like small science experiments you can do in the class. A very you can also pick up a few maybe inquiry based questions in your class, where you can ask them to go home, search on this, come back in the conversation time, or maybe in the circle time we will have discussion on this. So like this you can make them curious about learning something of their environment. Break and snack time, it also includes washing their hands, doing prayer, eating, sharing, learning things like where to keep the thing, where to keep the mats, or wearing that apron. They must know how to clean the table. So slowly you are teaching them life skills also while your students are on a break time or snack time. So also, as a good teacher, also grab the opportunity of making their students aware of or learn some activities, or learn some etiquettes while they are eating. So a teacher can demonstrate how to eat. Do not make sound while you are eating. Take a small bite. Okay, so like this, do share your tiffin with your friends. And if something falls down, then what happened, or what you have to do. You can also teach them the importance of the food. Okay, and nutrition value also you can teach them. You can teach them that this fruit gives you what, or you get carbohydrate or fat or protein from which stuff, vitamin. Maybe these are very big terms, but giving it slowly to the student will help them to develop their vocabulary and let them see their food with a different perspective. Now, a goodbye circle. In a goodbye circle, we talk about the day's happening. So, what we did in the morning, then what we have done. In the bye bye circle, a teacher can talk about the homework given, or the skills they have learned, or some assignment, what you can give them. Maybe a question where, as I told you, on to go home and research on this. So, these all things is very important for a preschool classroom. So if you will look on this chart again and think, is there something where they are, using their pre-knowledge or no? Yes. Is there avenues where a child is learning from their kinesthetic skills? Is there something where the child is inclined towards nature? Is there something where the child is using mathematical and logical skills? Is there something where the child is developing conversation? So all the questions what I have asked you will end up with a yes. If yes, please write in the chat box. Am I able to relate it well with what I was talking since the very start of this lesson to the end of this session? Is design your class in such a way so that a child is able to develop all the domain of the brain. So let me stop. Okay, so any question, anyone, if you have any question, please write in the chat box. I hope I was able to make a connect with you and let you know what are the things you are doing in the classroom. I'm not saying anything which may be new to any of you, any 62 of you, those who have those who are attending the session with me today, because you all must be doing these all things back at home, isn't sorry, back in your school, isn't it, teachers? You must be doing that. What I told you today was just reflecting on what you are doing, why you are doing, and what is the purpose behind. Because if a teacher is going to the class with a better understanding of their students, then you will see that what you are doing in the classroom is you are doing justice with your students. Okay, I will also urge all the preschool teacher, those who are here with us, with me today, to know about the NEP and why they are talking more and more about it. Also, read few of the brain development and the different developmental stages of the in a child's life, because then only you will be able to connect what I am telling you today, because it is a very vast topic, and teaching brain development to you in a very small time, like a very short span of time, it is very difficult. So that is why I have picked a few topics from there, and was able to maybe telling you why it is important, and what are the different activities you can do in the classroom with your student to make your class engaging. And okay, there is a very good question: how to control their tantrums when they cry a lot while entering into the school. So, have you ever thought? What's your name? Let me just check. Meena ma'am. Meena ma'am, you have asked this question. So, have you ever took a pause and thought, ki, why is the child crying? Why the child is not crying back at home? Why is crying now? Why the child is crying? Because maybe, I'm not blaming anyone, but maybe the child is looking for something which you are not giving to the child. Okay, see, when the child comes to the class, there is a emotional attachment which the child is, leaving behind with their families. Okay, a child is inclined towards the mother, and then a mother drops the child and says कि बेटा तुम रहो, मैं रिसेप्शन पे बैठी हूँ. So the first thing is, do not tell the child कि उसकी मम्मी रिसेप्शन पे बैठी है. बहुत सारी टीचर्स must be doing it कि मम्मा को फोन कर दे रहे, अच्छा रुको, हेलो मम्मा आ जाइए. You must be doing, right? This is, everyone does it, but do not make your child in a way, do not make your child think कि उसकी मम्मा यहाँ बैठी है. Let him face the thing. उसको बोलिए कि बेटा स्कूल अभी 11 o'clock पे खत्म हो जाएगा, so आपकी मम्मा आएगी. And also tell the parents, if a parent has told कि मम्मी आएगी लेने, तो उनकी मम्मी को आना पड़ेगा. So just make sure कि ऐसा हो रहा हो. So you have to converse with the parent also, keeping in mind, देखिए बच्चे में separation anxiety होती है, right? When the child is brought to the school, उसको पता है कि यहाँ पे कोई और नहीं होगा, मेरी मम्मी, मेरी दादी, मेरे पापा सब घर पे होंगे, I'll be all alone. So giving them that safe environment is very important. Also, when you are starting your school, make sure to have one-on-one contact with the parents back at home. Why? Because ask them कि क्या ऐसी चीज है जो आपके बच्चे को पसंद है, right? कौन सी ऐसी चीज है जो उसको नहीं पसंद है. Never close the door of your classroom, because वो बच्चों को एक फोबिया होता है कि डोर बंद है. Let the child go. जहां उसको जाना है जाने दीजिए. You must be having that safe environment in the class, in your school, कि बच्चा कहीं बाहर नहीं जाए, इस स्कूल बाउंड्री से बाहर नहीं जाए. ऐसे एवेन्यूज अगर आपके स्कूल में है, एक बॉर्डर है, बाउंड्री है जिसके अंदर अगर बच्चा सेफ है, तो उसको जाने दीजिए. Maybe your child is not learning good in the classroom, what he is learning out in the corridor. वो उस एक्वेरियम में मे बी फिश को देख के जितना सीख रहा है, वो आपके क्लास में नहीं उसको वो मिल रहा है वो चीज, राइट? तो डू नॉट स्टॉप योर चाइल्ड, जस्ट कीप एन आई. एक बंदे को आप दे दीजिए, मे बी मेड, आया, आंटी और टीचर जो उस बच्चे के साथ है, उसको कभी पकड़े नहीं. आई हैव ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड दिस विथ माय स्टूडेंट्स, टीचर्स. अगर आप बच्चे को पकड़ोगे ना, तो उसका टेंट्रम और बढ़ेगा. जस्ट मेक हिम एट ईज, उसको जाने दीजिए. वो थोड़ी देर जाएगा, वो देखेगा, चीजों को छुएगा, सही हो जाएगा, एंड देन आई एम वेरी श्योर ऑफ कि वो क्लास में सेटल हो जाएगा. Any other questions? Let me check the chat box. How to help them to read sight words? Like I used to make a flashcard of sight words and help them to read any other ideas. Okay, so ma'am, you have asked about making them read sight word. See, well, Lubna Afrin. So why it is called a sight word? Sight मतलब देखना. So वो उसको sight word क्या है? देखिए, sight word है जितना वो बच्चा उस चीज को देखता है, उसको वैसे सीखता है. So it is a good idea what you are using, Lubna ma'am. You are using flashcard. It is the good. It is something good which will help you students. जब आप क्या करिए, साइड वर्ड्स की एक वॉल बना लीजिए, या उसको आप क्लास में कहीं लेडर में या कहीं पे टांग दीजिए, और रोज उसको बच्चा जब वो देखेगा उसको जाने, बिकॉज ये साइड वर्ड्स जो होते हैं फोनेटिकली प्रोनाउंस नहीं किए जा सकते हैं. सो उसको आप बच्चे को सिखा नहीं सकते, राइट? सो दिस इज साइड वर्ड्स. बच्चा देख के उसको सीखता है. एंड ऑल्सो गिव देम एवेन्यूज. आपने जैसे उसको फ्लैश कार्ड तो दे दिया, आर यू ऑल्सो गिविंग देम सम रीडिंग शीट where a child can relate what is there, like is, you have made the flashcard of is, the and they, right? Maybe I'm just taking example of it. क्या आपने उसको वो शीट भी दी है रीडिंग की जिसमें is they or that है, so that a child can relate to what he is learning. या उसने वो देख रहा है, उसको क्या आप are you doing this activity of reading that sight words with your students, making them also aware कि this is the symbol when it is written is, this is the symbol, right? Is your child able to uh, connect is called is, and how it is being read, this is a bat. So doing this activity, see, this will go along. If you are doing this, then good to go. This is a good thing. Okay. Yeah. Any other question? If you have any question, you can ask me, and from my experience I will be able to really tell you. And if I do not know the answer of it, I'll surely come back and tell you some other day. Any other question? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, teachers, for all this thing. Okay, I have something here. Day's routine is very important as we do it every day. Yes. Yes. Thank you.